Lily. Today I'm going to read you the story, The Witch's by Roald Dahl, from page 88 to page 96. Okay, let's read it. The recipe. I hope you haven't forgotten that while all this was going on, I was still stuck behind the screen on my hands and knees with one eye glued to the crack. I don't know how long I had been there, but it seemed like forever. The worst part of it was not being allowed to cough or make a sound, and knowing that if I did, I was as good as that. And all the way through, I was living in constant terror that one of the witches in the back row was going to get a whiff of my presence through those special nose holes of hers. My only hope, as I saw it, was the fact that I hadn't watched for days, at the never-ending excitement and clapping and shouting that was going in the room. The witches were thinking of nothing except the Grand Witch up there on the platform of her great plan for wiping out all the children in England. They certainly weren't sniffing around for a child in the room in their wildest dreams. If witches have dreams, that would never have occurred to any of them. I kept still and prayed. The Grand Witch's dreadful gloating sound was over now, and the audience was clapping madly and shouting, "Brilliant! Sensational! Marvelous! You're a genius! Oh, brainy one! It is a thrilling invention. This delayed action mouse maker. It is a winner, and the beauty of it is that the teachers will be the ones who jump off the stinking little children. It won't be us doing that. We shall never be caught. Witches are never caught," snapped the Grand Witch. "Attention now! I want everybody's attention, for I am about to tell you what you must do. Prepare for Mila 86, the late action mouse maker." Suddenly there came a great gasp from the audience. This was followed by a hup 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 of shrieking and yelling. And I saw many of the witches leaping to their feet and pointing at the platform and cried out, "Mice, mice, mice! She's starting to show us! The brainy one has turned two children into mouse, and there they are!" I looked toward the platform. The mice were there, all right, 2 of them, running around near the Grand Witch's skirts, but these were not field mouse or house mice or old mice or harvest mice. They were wine mouse. I recognized them immediately as being my mice. I recognized them immediately as being my own little William and Mary. "My!" shouted the audience. "Our leader has made the mouse to appear out of nowhere. Get the mouse traps! Fetch the cheese!" I saw the Grand Witch peering down at the floor and staring with obviously puzzlement at William and Mary. She bent lower to get a closer look. Then she straightened it up and shouted, "Quiet!" The audience became silent and sat down. "These mice are nothing to do with me," she shouted. "These mice are pet mice. These mice are quite obviously belonging to some repellent little child in the hotel. A boy it will be for us, certainly, because girls are not keeping pet mice." "Oh boy!" cried the witches. "Filthy smelly little boy! We will whip him, we will swizzle him, we will have his stripes for breakfast." "Silence!" shouted the Grand Witch, raising her hands. "You know perfectly well you must do nothing to draw attention to yourselves while you are living in the hotel. Let us by all means get rid of this evil-smelling little squibard, but we must do it as quietly as possible, for we are all of us the most respectable ladies of the Royal Society, and Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children. What do you suggest, Emma, brainy one?" they cried out. They cried out, "How shall we dispose of this smelting small pile of filth?" They were talking about me, I thought. These females are actually talking about how to kill me. I began to sweat. Whoever he is not important, announced the Grand Witch. Leave him to me. I shall smell him out and turn him into a mackerel and have him dished out for supper. Bravo! Cried the witches. Cut off his head and chop off his tail and fry them in the hot butter. You can imagine that none of this was making me feel very comfortable. Yeah. So, William and Mary were still running around on the platform, and I saw the Grand Witch aim a swift running kick at William. She caught him right on the point of her toe and sent him flying. She did the same to Mary. Her aim was extraordinary. She would have made a great football player. Both mice crashed against the wall, and for a few moments they lay stunned. They all got to their feet and scampered away. Attention again! The Grand Witch was shouting. I will now give you the recipe for corn cooking for Lily's delayed action mouse maker. Get on pencils and paper. And books were opened all over the room. Had notebooks and were finished out. Give us the recipe, oh rainy one, cried the audience impatiently. Tell us the secret. First, said the Grand Witch, I had to find something that could the children to become very small very quickly. And what was that? Cried the audience. The part was simple, the Grand Witch said. All you have to do is, if you visiting to make a child very small, is to look at him through the wrong end of a telescope. She's a wonder, cried the audience. Who else would have thought of a thing like that? So you take the wrong end of a telescope, continued the Grand Witch, and you boil it until it gets soft. How long does it take that? They asked her. 21 hours of boiling, the Grand Witch, and while this is going on, you take exactly 45 brown mice, and you chop off their tails with a carving knife, and you fry the tails in hair, oil, and until they are nice and crisp. What do we do with all those mice who have their tails chopped off? Asked the audience. You simmer them in frog juice for 1 hour, came the answer. But listen to me. So far, I have only given you the easy part of the recipe. The real difficult problem is to put in something that will, having a genial delayed action result, something that can be eaten by children on a certain day, but which will not start working on them until 9 o'clock the next morning, when they arrive at school. What did you come up with, oh brainy one? They cried out. Tell us the great secret. The secret, announced the Grand Witch triumphantly, is an alarm clock. An alarm clock, they cried. It's the stroke of genius. Of course it is, said the Grand Witch. You can set a 24-hour alarm clock today, and at exactly 9 o'clock tomorrow, it will go off. But we will need 5 million alarm clocks, cried the audience. We will need one for each child. Idiots, shouted the Grand Witch. If you are wanting a steak, you do not cook the whole cow. It is the same with alarm clocks. One clock will make enough for 1,000 children. Here is what to do. You set your alarm clock to go out at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then you roast it in the oven until it's crisp and tender. Are you writing this down? We are, your grandness, we are, they cried. Next, said the Grand Witch, you take your boiled telescope and your fried mouse tails and your cooked mice and your roasted almond clock, and all together you put them into the mixer. Then you mix them all at full speed. This will give you a nice thick paste. While the mixture is still mixing, you must add to it the yolk of one Gruntel's eggs. A Gruntel's eggs! cried the others. We shall do that. Underneath all the clamor that was going to hurt one witch in the back row saying to her neighbor, I'm getting a bit old to go birds nesting. Those silvery gruntlers always nest very high up. So you must mix the egg, the Grandma Witch went on, and the one after the other you also mix it in the following items. The claw of crab cruncher, the beak of barber snitch, the snout of grubbleless squirt, and the tongue of a casperator. I trust you not having any trouble finding those. No, they cried. We'll spear the blabbersness and trap the crab concher and shoot the grubble squat and catch the caspringer in his burrow. Excellent, said the Grandma Witch. When you have mixed everything together in the mixer, you will have a most marvelous looking green liquid. Put one drop, just one droplet of this liquid into a chocolate or a sweet. And at 9 o'clock the next morning, the child who ate it will turn into a mouse in 26 seconds. But one word of warning: never increase the dose. Never put more than one drop each sweet or chocolate, and never give more than one sweet or chocolate to each child. An overdose of the late action mouse maker will mess up the timing of the alarm clock and cause the child to turn into a mouse too early. A large overdose mouse will have voodoo. You wouldn't want the children turning into mice right there in your sweet shops. That would give the game away. So be very careful. Do not overdose. Bye. Bye.